passé. When I say sac passé, you answer my what's going on with map boulé. I'm on fire. Things are great. Répétez, sac passé. Map boulé. Bien fait. These are real greetings, guys. You just concluded vocabulaire 4 with Emily. After doing vocabulaire 4, I want you to go deeper with some of the more complicated vocabulary words. In your Learn Haitian Creole with Gloria workbook, I'm sure you noticed that there are squares sometimes and rectangles sometimes with the trickier words. The reason for that is I have had people tell me, these were trickier words, and I want to make sure that you're not in the dark about them. When I go deeper with words, it's indirectly also some cultural teachings, because the reason that it's trickier and deeper is Creole is a cultural language. Even though on this video, there will be a cultural tip video in this lesson. In Leçon 4, there will be another cultural tip lesson. Whenever I do a cultural tip lesson via video, it means there are deeper cultural reasons why we are saying some things differently, and I want to empower you with that. Okay, so right now we're just going deeper with vocabulaire 4. The first word that I want to go over with you is un pile. Un pile means a lot, much, many. In fact, it means a lot of things. Now, un pile means that because in Old English, the word un pile came from ample. Ample. We don't say that a lot in modern English. In fact, whenever I tell you Old European, what I'm really meaning to tell you is these are Latin words. I just didn't say that in the first 3 lessons because I don't want to freak you out and go, oh my gosh, I got to know Latin to speak Creole. Not at all. It's just very good to know that Creole is a complete language and it has true Latin base. Having a true Latin base means you have something to depend on if you know some Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, or French. But if you don't know those things, there's going to be roots also in Old European, which includes English. That helps you to be able to navigate it easier than thinking you're learning a language with no base that you can actually recognize. Okay? That should empower you. Okay, so right now, pile. Because pile meant ample, and we don't have a lot of synonyms. We don't have a lot of words with the same meaning, so our vocabulary list is smaller. It also means abundant. Okay, so I want you to think of it in that way. That is why it goes before a subject. So when I say before a subject, I mean noun, person, place, thing. Pile timoun, a lot of children. Répétez, pile timoun. A lot of mangoes, ample mangoes, abundant mangoes. Un pile mango. Répétez, un pile mango. A lot of plantains. Répétez, un pile banane. Banane. Un pile banane. Banane is plantains. Even though it feels like you're saying bananas, it's plantains. Bananas is fig. You will learn that word later on when we are focusing on the foods. So now we know that ample comes before a person, place, or thing, before a noun. It comes after adjectives and after verbs. So remember, ample comes after the descriptor. This is so important because when it comes after the descriptor, the adjective, it changes the meaning. Grand goût en pile. Grand goût en pile does not mean hungry ample. It means hungry abundantly. Modern English would mean very hungry. So you have two ways of saying very in Creole. You can say moi très grand goût. I'm very hungry. Répétez, moi très grand goût. But you could say, répétez, moi grand goût en pile. That means I'm hungry abundantly. We don't say that in modern English. We say, I'm very hungry. Très bien. Now, what about thirsty? Soif en pile. Répétez, soif en pile. So, en pile comes after a descriptor. And remember, it also comes after a verb, an action. So, if I bought a lot, I would say acheter en pile. Répétez, acheter en pile. I buy a lot of food. Moi acheter en pile manger. Répétez, moi acheter en pile manger. What if I want to say I work a lot? I verb a lot. I action. En pile comes after action and after adjectives and before nouns, okay? Moi travaille en pile. Répétez. Moi travaille en pile. Bien fait. I'm going to répéter one more time just so you can keep all of this to memory. En pile means much, a lot, many, abundantly, ample. It comes before the noun, after the adjective, after the verb. Okay, now we can move on to the word rien. Rien means nothing. Literally, it means the word nothing. If someone says, what are you doing? And if you're doing nothing, you would say, rien. Répétez, rien. Rien. Nothing. You want to have expression when you're saying that. Now, I've had people who believed that rien meant the word anything. The word for anything is n'importe bagay. Répétez, n'importe bagay. So, if someone asked you, what do you want? And you said, oh, anything, you would say, n'importe bagay. Oh, n'importe bagay. But rien means nothing. Rien. Look at my facial expressions. Rien. N'importe bagay. Nothing. Anything. Okay? So why do some people think that the word for anything is rien? It's because we use it as a double negative. I don't want anything. Anything is n'importe bagay. But because I don't want n'importe bagay, I say rien. I don't want nothing. That is correct. That is how we use a double negative with rien in Creole. Listen. Moi pas vle rien. I don't want nothing. That means I don't want anything. Répétez. Moi pas vle rien. 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 Moi pas vle rien. Bien fait. Okay, so the next word that I want to go over, it's a word you're going to hear a lot in Haiti. So often you won't believe it. It's like a magic word. Remember I told you that for vocabulaire, toi, the word was fait. You would hear fait a lot because it's like a word we use to make words with other words. But bagay is used a lot because it means thing. And even in English, we say thing a lot. Give me the thing. Where's the thing? I don't know where that thing went. Creole's the same way, but in English, we use another word to substitute for thing, and that is stuff. Don't talk to me about that thing. Don't talk to me about that stuff. Where's the thing? Where's that stuff? Because we don't have a lot of synonyms, same word meanings, we still use bagay when we are saying stuff. You have a lot of things. You have a lot of stuff. Ou gen un pile bagay. Répétez, ou gen un pile bagay. Bien fait. So these are same word meanings. You're going to use the same word when you have the same word meanings. Okay? Just remember that. Now, I know that you saw the word bailler, manger, and thought, well, how could that mean to feed? It means to feed because it means give food. Give food means to feed. If you feed someone, you give them food. If you feed your pet, you give them food. But because compound words are true compound words in Creole, we have to say them the way they ought to be said. What do I mean by that? If I want to say, listen, you didn't feed him, because bailler manger in modern English means to feed, we don't say the sentence that way. We're not speaking English, we're speaking Creole. We say, you did not give him food. Ou pas bali manger. Répétez. Ou pas bali manger. Right? You didn't give him food. You don't give him food instead of you don't feed him. That's because we have a compound word. When we have a compound word, we have to break it down in Creole correctly. Give food. Give him food. Bali manger. If I want to tell you feed him, I would say bali manger. Give him food. Répétez, bali manger. Bien fait. Now, the word capable and pas capable are easy to remember because capable just means able. Modern English, can. C-A-N, I can. Old European, I'm capable. I'm able. Pas capable means not able, not capable. Modern English, can't. Remember, I told you when we were learning the word fuck in our verbs, you have to think about the old European structure, the sentence structure, which is called syntax. The old way of using a word is still used the same way right now in Creole. Why am I saying that? We do not use the word able, capable, as we would use can in our sentence structure. Here is an example. Can I go with you? Able I go with you? No. Am I able to go with you? Can't she go with you? Not able she go with you? No. She's not able to go with you? That is correct. We put capable after the subject because it means able, capable. So while in English, you can say, can you help me? In Creole, we wouldn't say, can you help me? Because we're not looking at the word capable as can. We're looking at the word capable as able. So we would say, are you able to help me? And this is how we would say it. Ou ka aidez-moi? You able to help me? Répétez. Ou ka aidez-moi? If you're going, why did she just say ka and we just learned kapab? Remember, these are words that can be abbreviated when you see the slash next to them. That means they are interchangeable. Remember, we learned that in vocabulaire, toi, going deeper. The only rule is you do not put the abbreviated word at the end of a sentence. I can say, moi capable. I can, I'm able. I cannot say, moi ka. That's the abbreviated word at the end of a sentence. We don't do that. That's the only rule. Now, what about pas capable? It's the same thing as capable. Pas capable must come after the subject. For example, if I wanted to say to you, you can't do that. In Creole, I cannot say you not able to do that in the same way that I would say, can't she do that? Do you see the difference? Ou pas capable faire ça. You are not able to do that. Répétez. Ou pas capable faire ça. Can't she do that? Li pas capable faire ça? So, can't does not come first there. So, the reason I do these going deeper is for you to see these differences. You just had to flip it. Before, you could say, ou pas capable faire ça. You can't do that, which is just like English. But you can't say in English, you're not able to do that. But can't you do that? You can't say that in English even. You're not able you do that? I can't even say it in English because it sounds awful. We have to reverse it because ou pas capable faire ça means you can't do that. But can't you do that? Ou pas capable faire ça? We're saying the exact same thing because the subject must come before pas capable. Just like the subject must come before capable. But it's your voice inflection that will let us know that you are telling someone you can't do that. You're not able to do that. Répétez, ou pas capable faire ça. Versus, can't you do that? Ou pas capable faire ça? Répétez, ou pas capable faire ça? You're not able to do that? Bien fait. I'm really glad that you're taking your time to learn these differences and to go deeper in Creole, which brings me to the word non. N-A-N. Non is a true preposition. When we were doing vocabulaire de, vocabulaire toi, we were talking about how we don't use prepositions to help action, to sit. Stand up. Sit down. Turn around. We just say the action word. We don't need to say to, down, up, around, because it is understood in the verb. When do we use prepositions? When we really, really mean it. It's in a box. It's literally in it. Li nan yon boîte. Répétez, li nan yon boîte. They're looking for something. Where is it? It's inside a box. It's in a box, literally. So, non is a literal preposition, okay? This really matters because this is an example I love to give. Let's pretend I give Lisa a gift. And someone says, "Oh, I love that blouse. Where did you get it?" In English, you could say, "From Gloria." It's from Gloria. In Creole, you absolutely can't say that because it's literal. It's like it's from Gloria, like it's a portion of Gloria. And I would hear, here's a blouse from me. Hey, upakapab fesa. You know all of those words. You can't do that. Upakapab fesa. Répétez. Upakapab fesa. You have a child doing something they can't do. Répétez. They shouldn't do. Upakapab fesa. You can't cook on the stove. You're 3. Okay? Okay. Bien fait. So, when do I use na? You use na as from if something is literally from something, like cake. If you take a portion of the cake, you could say, I took some na gâteau, some of the cake. Na gâteau. Okay? But you don't use it if you're not being literal. What about the word through? You know, in English, you could say, I'm through with you. You can't say that in Creole because you're not through with me. Okay? You're done with me. You are fini with me. So when do we use na as through? We use na as through when we're literally walking through the marché, the outdoor market. We are walking through it. When we are walking through a garden, moi marché dans jardin. I walk through the garden. Répétez, moi marché dans jardin. This is why when you're going to Haiti, you do not say, moi aller dans Haiti. You don't say, I go na Haiti, because you're not digging a hole and going inside of Haiti, like the crevice of Haiti. You're directionally going to Haiti. Répétez, moi aller Haiti. You omit na. Répétez again. Moi aller Haiti. Très bien. Another example, if you're going to somewhere, you're saying aller. That's it. Moi aller Haiti. What if you are in a hospital for a few days? You're not going to the hospital. You're not just doing a checkup. You're staying in the hospital for a few days. That is when you say, moi non l'hôpital. That makes us know you're not just on a visit. You're not visiting someone. You're not just getting some tests done. You're residing in the hospital for a while. Répétez, moi non l'hôpital. I'm in hospital. You could say, moi non l'hôpital là. I'm in the hospital, but you can also drop la because l'hôpital has that French the at the beginning. L'hôpital, l'église, the church, l'école, the school. We still put the after them, but sometimes a little bit of slang, we omit it. And in Creole, we don't say that we have slang because for us, we say it's Creole nous. It's our Creole. So it's not slang. It's still proper. Okay? So basically, use na when you're being literal. When you're in the church, you're na l'église. When you're in the house, you're na caille. When you're in a box, you're na boîte. But that's the only time that you are going to use na. Now, you had a word pas. It's negative. Not, does not, do not. You see my face, negative, pas. Listen, I taught you in your verb vocabulary the word gagner. Gain. I told you that it means to have, has, and to win, like I have it. I have the victory. But I also told you that it also means there is, there are. And you can make sure to never doubt that when you hear gain or gain at the beginning of a sentence, it will always mean there is, there are, because there's not a subject first to say she has, they have. It's just gain, there is, there are. But if you put pa in front of it, it negates it. Pas gain, manger. There isn't food. Répétez, pas gain, manger. Moi pas gain, petite. I don't have children. Subject. So now it means have. Répétez, moi pas gain, petite. So if you have the subject first, gain means have. If you have pas in front of gain, have not. Don't have. I don't have. Moi pas gain. But at the beginning, pas gain. There isn't. There aren't. This is very, very important. There aren't children here. Répétez, pas gain ti moun la. Pas gain ti moun la. Bien fait. So, you learned today the word parce. It means because. But in Creole, we have another word also. It is peut-être. P-O-U-T, accented E-T. P-O-U-T, accented E-T, means peut-être, which means because of. Peut-être means because. That's what parce means. Parce means because. Peut-être means because of. This is important. For example, if I want to say because I want to. Parce que moi vle. Répétez. Parce que moi vle. But what if I want to say because of that? Peut-être ça. Répétez. Peut-être ça. Because, parce que. Because of, peut-être. Remember that word. It's very important. They have two different meanings. Now, another word that people have some issues with sometimes, it's the word poco. The reason is poco is two words in English. It's the negative not, don't, doesn't, and the conditional yet. And it's separated by the action in English. She's not going yet. And because it's separated by the adjective. I'm not hungry yet. Not verb yet. Not adjective yet. In Creole, it is one word. You have to remember this. Poco means not yet, doesn't yet, don't yet, and after it comes the action. After it comes the adjective. This is very, very important. The man didn't go yet. Negla poco ale. The man not yet go. Doesn't yet go. Répétez. Negla poco ale. This is very important for you to remember. So if someone ever tells you, I don't want to go yet, do not look up the word don't and look in the back of the book for the word yet, because it's one word, don't yet. And that word is poco. So I want to touch on you with the word POU. The word POU in Creole, it's sort of like the word na. We don't use POU prepositionally. So when I say POU means to, T-O, or for, F-O-R, I want you to think of it as it means for two. Ah, Old European. Okay. I'm going to church for what reason? If there is a reason coming afterwards, you use POU. I'm going to church. Moi prale l'église. I'm not saying for two. I'm not giving you a reason. I'm just saying I'm going to church. Répétez, moi prale l'église. Don't worry about the word pral being in there. It literally has to do with contracting a future tense. I'm continuous ongoing. I'm going to and future tense church. Don't worry about that. What I want you to think about is POU. If I want to say I'm going to church to pray, I've given the for to, the reason. So when I say that POU means for, I mean the old usage of the word for to. I'm going to church, moi prale l'église, to pray, for to pray, for this reason. Pour prier. Répétez, moi prale l'église pour prier. Moi prale l'église pour prier. Now, it also means for, as in belonging to. That's for you. Ça, pour, ou. Répétez, ça, pour, ou. That's for me. Ça, pour moi. Répétez, ça, pour moi. Very good. Bien fait. But POU does not just mean to. It's to when you're giving a reason why. I'm taking an umbrella to go outside. I'm taking an umbrella. Why are you taking an umbrella? For this reason. For to go outside. Pour aller dehors. Répétez. Pour aller dehors. Bien fait. Okay, now we're just going to touch on one last word, and that word is ça. I'd like to pretend it's simple. You learned the definite article in leçon deux. In leçon deux, you learned the different forms of the, which is the definite article because you definitely know what the person's talking about. The book. Livre la. Répétez, livre la. Not a book. Could be any book up here. It could be one of my Edwidge Dundicat books, one of my art books, one of my scripture reading books. No, the is a definite article because you definitely know what I'm talking about. Ça is also a definite article. It does mean this, ça, that, ça. This and that is ça. But this and that is also a definite article in English. For example, she doesn't want that. That's a noun. It's a thing. Li pa vle ça. Répétez. Li pa vle ça. But what if I wanted to say, she doesn't want that food? The subject is now food, which means that is the definite article because that is definite. You definitely know what I'm talking about. She doesn't want that food. Where does the definite articles go in Creole? After the subject. Li pa vle manger ça. Because remember, if we were to say she doesn't want the food, the comes after the subject. Li pa vle manger. She doesn't want the food. Répétez. Li pa vle manger. In the same way, we would say she doesn't want that food. Li pa vle manger ça. Répétez, li pa vle manger ça. Okay? Otherwise, you can use it as here and there. I'm here. Mwen la. He's there. Li la. And then la can mean the. Manger a. Bagay la. You use it the same way as you would say la. La can be here, there, and the definite article the. Sa can be this. Mwen vle sa. I want this. That. Mwen pa vle sa. I don't want that. But then it can be the definite article. I don't want that book. Mwen pa vle liv sa. Répétez, I don't want that. Mwen pa vle sa. I want this. Mwen vle sa. I don't want that book. Mwen pa vle liv sa. Negative sentence, negative expressions and voice intonation. You've got to give me that. Okay, so you are done. Your next video is going to be on grammar rules. You want to put on your thinking cap. I would be lying if I said this isn't going to blow your mind. It's the adjective noun phrase rule. It's going to aider ou en pile. Think about it. Aider ou en pile. Help you amply, abundantly, a lot. Répétez, aider ou en pile. So what I want you to do is go ahead and like this video. Remember to download it or watch it again if you're like, well, Remember, you can watch these again and again, but I want you to download them so you can play them again and again wherever you are. So go ahead, give it a thumbs up when you're ready to download this bad boy, and get ready for our next video, which is on the grammar rule of the adjective noun phrase. Au revoir.